Zach, I came to another realization the other day.
What's that?
Another one of my figures is just gone.
Oh my god. Which one?
It's another one of my Mikus.
What?
It's just vanished. I have no idea what happened. I was sitting here at my desk like 2 days ago and I looked up because I moved all my Mikus up.
Uh
And I was like, damn, I really wish I could find the one where she was sitting down. Like, it really bugs me that I haven't found it.
yeah.
And then I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. Where's the other one where she's in like the Ichiban Kuji one where she's like in the school uniform?
Yeah.
It's just not there.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea what happened to those. They just vanished.
How big are these figures?
112 scale. So
So it would be
5-6 inches
probably
tall.
hard for Kevin to eat them.
Yeah, 100%. I would find remnants of them.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. I don't even know, like, do you have cameras inside your house?
No.
You should get one. Maybe there's a ghost in your house. Steven says sounds like an episode of Creeps or Us.
Yeah, I don't, dude. Honestly, like, and I wouldn't have no idea when.
Is it possible he's hiding them somewhere, like under your bed or something? Like, does he go somewhere to hide, like a doghouse or a kennel?
No, not really. I
Dang,
guess I'm
that's
gonna have
weird.
to look because honestly, dude, I have not been able to find anything.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right.
Dude, I am exhausted. I don't know why. I had such a long day. I couldn't sleep last night. But the show must go on, Dean.
Dude, low key, I was laying in bed and I was like, man, it's already 8:20. I haven't heard from Zach. If he doesn't message me about the show, like, I'm just gonna fall asleep. And then like you've messaged me like right in the nick of time.
I mean, I would have done it by myself, but that would have really sucked. Steven says,
I mean, I wouldn't have let you, but if there was like an emergency, you messaged me like tomorrow, like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like something came up, I couldn't do the show. I would have been like, yeah, don't worry about it. I was just like in bed, just like, it's nice and cool. Got my dog with me.
Steven says, give him a treat. That would take him a long time to eat and see if he hides it with your missing figures. Dean, let's get into the world's favorite segment, the one that the people wait for every week.
The one, the only, new this week. What'd you get new this week? I ordered a bunch of stuff. A clothing set for my secret project, my 6-scale project. A body, a second body for my Bruce Banner that I got. Some other stuff from Japan. In fact, it's supposed to get delivered tomorrow via DHL. They're like Final Fantasy 7. They're called like trading figures. They're like little blind boxes. And then the big boy, Hot Toys Thanos, Infinity War. I got my stimulus check, and I was like, I'm gonna get something nice for myself because being in quarantine sucks, and not having a car is even worse. So I'm gonna treat myself, and the rest of it went into savings. So I got myself a Hot Toys Infinity War Thanos. I was thinking about getting Endgame, where he has all the armor, but that Thanos fails. Infinity War Thanos is the one that wins. You know what I mean? And I think he's just going to be a little more iconic down the road. So I went with this guy, and he's awesome. If you have a chance to get one, I would.
Yeah. There are questions going on. Dean, are you smoking? There is mist by your mic.
Oh, no, I have incense going.
My gosh. Sorry. Dude, I had to freak out. I was like, fuck, I forgot to add the slides. So while you were doing that, I was adding slides in the background.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, this has been a bitch of a day. My God.
I got him I got a really good price on him. The guy was asking 300 and Monkey Depot had it for 250. So I was like, yo, if you meet their price, I'll just buy it from you. He was like, all right. So I got him for 265 shipped. pretty good price. If you could get one around that price, or even 300, I think it's a slam dunk idea because he's just so cool. I mean, if you collect Marvel figures, which I have a whole detail's worth, so it was a no brainer for me.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup.
Yeah, and then Manny got me the Black Series Commander Bly. I haven't been able to scoop that up from him. Baby Yoda Black Series. And there's some other stuff that came out of pre-order. It's in my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store. I just gotta ship it.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, man. What about you?
I talked about this on OFAC. I got probably the single worst thing I've ever bought in my entire life.
Oh.
Fuck Acid Rain. I can't believe
yes.
that this figure is so bad, Dean. It's so awful.
Is it actually that bad, or were your expectations too high?
No, it's actually that bad. Like,
wow,
it's
okay.
just like not that good. I mean, granted, my expectations are pretty high for toys. But I would say it's like maybe like if all the joints were fine, I could give it like a 5 out of 10. But the joints were not fine. So it's like a negative 0.75 out of 10. It's just the worst thing ever. Definitely gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna try to list it on Stash Bin. I did also get the NECA quarter scale Batman. I actually have it coming in from Big Bad Toy Store. But I was able to get it a little early, and Manny's going to pick up the one I got from BBTS. So it's a really good figure. We talked about it on Ox After Dark last night, but man, it's super impressive, super imposing. Really good number of accessories. The hands are pretty easy to change out. The belt was the one thing that I thought might be a little janky, but it's actually really not that bad in person. Honestly, I couldn't be happier with this figure. And I mean, for me, this is my favorite Batsuit in the Nolan trilogy, personally. So I'm just like super happy that I was able to get it like 6 days early.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that I got this week. Maybe I think that is all I got this week. So yeah, pretty good week though. I got, I'm just really glad to have gotten this.
You ordered that Batman on BBTS, right? And then somehow you managed to find a second one here in town.
Yeah, Alien Worlds put up like a stock post, and they're like, "We have these figures in stock," and I was able to just get it from them.
Okay, is that like a new figure that just came out or what?
No, it's like a 3-year-old figure, 4-year-old figure. I mean, they had 2 of them, so I don't know if they just ordered a bunch and they just had 2 left, or they just don't sell
Was
particularly
the
well.
price comparable?
Yeah, it was like $7 more than Big Bad Toy Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't really too bad. And I like it. I mean, there's a few very small mods that I want to do. I'm not a big fan of when people paint eyes and they do like this effect where you do like a white dot in one corner and like another dot in another corner to simulate like a reflection. I fucking hate that. I know there's a lot of people that do it, but it just does not look right to me.
That's what Ian does. How dare you?
I know he does it, and I just don't like it. I love the guy, but I personally don't like the way that looks. I like to use actual.
Ian's listening to this.
Well, you're gonna start another war. I like to use actual gloss medium, and I apply it pretty thick, and it almost kind of like dries like a bubble, and it just looks a little bit better in my opinion. Wow. So NECA did that for this figure, and I'm gonna.
You're trash.
All right, I'm gonna kick you off the stream, Dean.
How dare you?
That's gonna be our new gag. Yeah. But the eye makeup also needs to be a little bit more black. It's almost like purple, so I'm gonna touch that up. And then pretty much other than that, I'm pretty happy. Caesar in the chat says, "Where do you guys order your hot toys?" I am boycotting Sideshows, so I order from Big Bad Toy Store or Steven's Collectibles. What about you? Yeah,
I mean, doesn't Steven get them from Sideshow?
Yeah, but they're obviously not making as much money as just selling it.
Right. Yeah, I just go through Steven's Collectibles. Because they've just put up Rex, which we'll talk about in a bit. He was $255 with shipping and then tax. He was over $300, and I was like, no, it's just not gonna happen. So I just went to Steven. In fact, I didn't message him. He was supposed to give me the price today.
Nice. My wife was also nice enough to get me this brand new iPhone 11. Pretty dope. I like it. My old phone fell in doo-doo water. So listen to our Corona chat the other day, I think is what it's called, if you want to hear the story behind that.
I have a cool phone too.
What a guy.
iPhone Pro 11 Max.
Dean,
if you thought I didn't, you're a fool.
Dean, give us our sponsor tag for this 106 episode of ours.
Actually, I was hoping you would do it today.
Nope, I did everything else for the show, so that is your
wow. You didn't even ask me for anything. I didn't ask you for anything today, please.
Dean.
What a scrapyard. Ow, your 3D printing needs for your old Hasbro, Kenner, Star Wars vehicles. Any part you need, he could get it done. He's also doing head sculpts for 3 3/4, 6-inch, and 1/6 scale figures, filling holes in your shelves you didn't even know you need filled. So, if he doesn't make it, he could get it made. So hit him up for all your needs.
Remember, guys, mind tricks don't work on him. Only money.
Yeah, I do the drop how it deserves to be done, says Steven. Yeah, Zach can't do the hey Annie.
That's because you have that grovelly voice. I couldn't do that.
Grovelly? Jesus.
I have the voice of an angel. Okay,
you have the voice. You have the voice of an angel and the face for radio.
Thank you, Dean. That's true words have never been spoken. So Captain Rex went up for pre-order from Hot Toys. 255 buys you this, releasing April to June 2021.
So
last week we were not sure how they were going to do the head sculpt, if they're going to do an animated look,
or if
they were going to do the real life portrait.
I was 100%
looks like they went with the real life portrait, and they gave you some good accessories. You got the binoculars, you have the Ahsoka clone helmet, and it'd be really cheeky if they didn't give you a ball joint for that. That would be fucking awful.
I'm gonna be pissed if they don't, because I have plans for that helmet.
Well, you have mold putty, so you should be fine. They also gave you the rocket pack, and yeah, I mean, I think this is a really good figure. I mean, it's Hot Toys. People are complaining that the Tamora Morrison portrait, is identical to the Commander Cody. These are clones. Lots of complaints about the hairline here. Don't really see it as that big of an issue. Like. Yeah, that's what it looks like in the show. What do you think, Dean? You said it was a slam dunk?
Oh, hell yeah. Dude. I will be shocked if this or Cody aren't the best figures they've ever done.
In Star Wars or in general?
Like total.
I don't think they're going to be that good, but I mean, I think these look really good.
I think they've nailed the armor. The materials they use are top notch, which is saying a lot because the old Sideshow clones, depending on which ones you got, are phenomenal. I have 10. They don't leave much to be desired. Maybe the bodies could be better, which these are going to fix. You know what I mean? I just think once you have these things in hand, it's going to be hard to say that these aren't superior than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they do this, but it comes with a visor for Rex. So I'm assuming it's like a magnet on one side, maybe.
Probably.
And then the little flashlight adapter, which I thought was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of excited to see how they pull all that off. Because he only uses that for like the visor thing. I think like maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. I really don't remember it that often.
Same with the jetpack. I think I've only seen him use it once. I could be wrong. Dean, you did not remind me to do was to add the Watto Scrapyard sculpt. Watto Scrapyard is doing a animated Captain Rex sculpt, so check out his page on Facebook. It's Watto Scrapyard. If you want to order it, I think it was like $35 for the sculpt itself.
Yeah, but, and if you tell me you're from Collecting Weekly, it's the same price.
He actually charges you more.
Yeah.
FigPin did these almost look obviously like leaks, but there was FigPin news, the Clone Wars figures. So there's Obi-Wan, Anakin, Maul, and Ahsoka. These are pretty cool. I think this is their second wave, I guess, because the first one was just Luke with the Tauntaun.
Yeah.
But these look really good. I think the art style really fits this line of figures.
I'm a little disappointed that Ahsoka and Obi-Wan don't have a cooler pose. Because Anakin looks dope. Maul, I mean, I don't like Maul, but at least he's not just standing there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Ahsoka. I mean, she's one of the most dynamic characters in the
But they
whole
also
goddamn
it also has
show.
to fit the FigPin aesthetic.
Okay, but Anakin's in a whole different pose, and you're going to be able to see the pin behind him. It's going to go down to his legs.
Yeah, but if Ahsoka, a lot of her poses are like crouching poses. Like I don't see how you could do that. I mean, maybe you guess you just have one of the little holes in the back.
I mean, Vegeta has one.
That's true.
I mean, these are cool. I'm probably going to get all of them except Maul. Because I love Clone Wars, and those look dope. Hopefully they don't fucking sell out all crazy.
Oh, they will. They only made like 1,980 something of the Empire
Luke.
Pops. Or yeah, I'm sorry, the Luke Empire FigPin, and it sold like almost instantly. I think Steven was barely able to get one. Steven Cret in the chat. So
Yeah, I think he sent me an eBay listing, and it was already like 200 something bucks. I was like, forget that.
yeah, Dean, this was something you really want to talk about. The
Yay!
Ace Toys 1/6 scale, the Mercenary. So tell us what character this is, and I think you
This
had some
is
thoughts about it.
my boy Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy 7. I had the what was the name of that company? I had this figure on pre-order. What, like 2 years ago? And I guess not enough people showed interest, so they canned the project. And I was like, well, I guess I'm never gonna get a 1/6 scale Cloud. And then Ace put this up not even a week ago. And you could tell it's like early because it's like he doesn't even have pants or a shirt on. Well, they have the sword. The sword, in my opinion, is too small. It needs to be way wider. But I mean, god damn it, like I'm gonna get this like eventually. Because Final Fantasy 7 has a ton of hype right now, and I'm not gonna be surprised if this is the only one, or this isn't the only one that comes out. Zensation, they're the ones that did the other one. I could almost see them coming back with it. Like they already did the R&R. R&D, sorry.
Rest and relaxation.
Yeah, they already did the R&D on it, so like the game just came out. There's a bunch of hype around Final Fantasy 7 figures. And it's not done yet. The other games are going to come out in a couple of years. So it's like, why would you not get on the train as soon as possible?
Yeah.
I'm just excited. Again, the sword could be bigger. But I'm excited either way.
Steven says, Sean, hit him up on Messenger and he can get you that box. Steven also asked, did you get that Spawn, Dean?
I did. Oh yeah, new this week. I kickstarted the Spawn.
Disappointed in you, buddy.
Dude,
I don't want to hear it.
This is hilarious.
Gotta have some resolve. Oh, you're talking about the dude for me roasting you about the Kickstarter.
No. I completely agree with you.
Piccolo 2.0 is announced. Happy Piccolo Day by Tamashi Nation's Instagram.
Literally the day before, I came to your house and you had Piccolo boxed up. And I was like, oh, what are you doing with Piccolo? You're like, oh, I just sold him. I was like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that figure. They really need to do 2.0. And literally the next day, they put this up. And I was like, holy shit.
This looks dope.
I know, man.
This looks dope. 2.0 body.
Way better.
Hopefully it's bigger, taller, because Piccolo is quite tall. I think it's like 7 foot something. Yeah, 8 foot tall. Animation colors, which is important. This is going to look really good with the battle damage Gohan. Really good, frankly, with almost any of the new super figures. This just looks a slam dunk, dare I say. Did not see a pre-order before the recording, but I'm sure by next week we'll have some prices for you guys. But
I mean, Piccolo is one of the coolest characters ever. Starts off as a bad guy, comes around, raises Gohan as his own.
Yeah, his dad was really evil. The Demon King
Yeah.
fucking killed Krillin, dude.
I fucking love Piccolo. I think he's so cool. So actually getting a really good, decent version of him on the shelf is
It'd be
so
nice.
exciting.
Yeah, I have the
Now
model
you
kit.
have the model kit too, don't you?
Yeah, and that's a good placeholder. So it'll be nice to compare both of these once they release. But the model kit's cape is awful. It's just like unusable.
Um,
So it'll be nice to be able to rock Piccolo with the cape on because
yeah, because
even
I
the version 1 cape is awful. It has a slit in the
yes,
front and it's just not very usable.
yeah, because I had given you kind of some shit about using the model kit, and as it turns out, it's more size accurate because Piccolo's so fucking huge.
Yeah,
Um, so it, I'm curious to see how this will measure up literally to the model kit.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, dude, I was so stoked.
dude, I'm so tired.
I know. I was like, oh,
Oh
look at this
man.
kid.
So Dean, you wanted to talk about actually we have one there we go. There we go. Miles Morales.
Oh hell yeah.
Young Rich did post an update about their Miles Morales. This is some pictures of production. So there's lots of head sculpts with the mask, without the mask, the
Does that say
Sony
Sony?
headphone. Yeah, I mean they honestly don't
Wow.
give a fuck. The boxed Superman costume, which I don't think the figure can actually wear this. I think it is actually just like an accessory.
I say Superman.
No, that says Spider-Man.
I'll have to go back and listen.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I'll have to go back and listen. I thought you said
Oh,
Superman.
I don't know. I fuck up like 20 times a show, so.
Oh, you're hard on
But
yourself.
yeah, this looks really good. I mean, we haven't really seen anything from Young Rich, as far as updates go in a while. So it's nice to see that they're actually getting somewhere because I've
Dude,
already paid off my Miles Morales and I want that thing so bad.
I'm shocked at how many how do I word this? Like for a figure that I never thought was coming out, there are a lot of options to get this figure, whether it be Young Ranch, Hot Toys. What's the other one?
I think there was only 2.
I thought there was 3.
Young Rich made 2 different Miles Morales.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cool. It's like, oh shit, like for a movie and character that has a lot of love for him, it's nice to see someone actually doing it. Now, hella late, but at least it's getting made. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely glad to see him getting some love. Dean, you wanted to talk a new segment. We are still a little light on delayed and release news. You wanted to
Yeah.
talk about some movers and shakers in the community as far as like figures
Yeah.
go. Give the people an idea of what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, with new news coming out of characters coming out in new shows, possibly getting their own show. I just wanted to talk about figures that I think are going to increase in value, um, or maybe not. Or should you get them, or should you sell them if you have them? Just stuff like that. I don't really have a name for the segment, but one that has been catching my eye lately has been Anakin, because his price, just in general, has been getting kind of crazy, especially the dark side one. But I mean, the difference between the dark side and the light side is literally just the eyes. So some people are just getting the light side one anyway. But news came out this week that Hayden Christensen is probably going to come back and play Anakin in the Obi-Wan show as
Just to clarify, rumored to play.
yeah. As like a Force ghost or maybe like a haunting figure for Obi-Wan, because that was like his best friend and he essentially killed him. Or for all intents and
Whacked him.
purposes, he thinks he's dead.
Whacked him.
Yeah. So I think that figure is going to be extremely hard to get later than sooner. and his
Yeah.
price is going to go crazy. Manny said, well, Hot Toys is making the figures from the show, so they'll probably remake him anyway. But the show doesn't even have a release date. And even if Anakin's in the first episode, there's not a guarantee that they'll make the figure. And even if they do, it's like another year or two away from production.
We also don't know what form he would take or how big of a role he'd play if it would even warrant a figure.
Right, exactly. Like maybe he
could be just like a voice or like an apparition or something. Like
right.
Something that's like half Vader, half Anakin, or even just Anakin as Vader.
Yeah. Now the only good thing is like, well, the heavy Mandalorian trooper was only in a fucking scene or two. And
Yeah,
he
but
got
that's
a
something
figure.
so different though. That's not something like, I mean, we already have 2 Anakins, you know.
Right.
I would say
it's like why would they make a third?
I would say we'd sooner see the blue outfit of Anakin from Clone Wars than this potential apparition or, you know, Hayden Christensen recast.
Yeah, so I just think something like that is, if you have him, just hold on to him. If you want to sell him, I say just wait, because you're gonna get a better price later to sell. And if you're trying to buy one, try and find one as soon as you can. That's just like how I see things going.
I just think people should hook up fellow collectors. All this, trying to get the best price possible. But
and then
one mover for me was Captain Rex. This figure is plummeting. The sideshow one,
right? Which,
that's. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people, Dean. This was a conversation we had years ago, but so many people thought that sideshow clones would be superior to anything Hot Toys would put out. And I always would say, like, the second that Hot Toys starts to make clones, the characters that are being produced are just going to plummet. And I mean, we pretty much saw that right away. People were trying to get rid of Rex for $300-$400, you know, in the aftermath.
Rex is a good example of a figure that would drop because Hot Toys is making a superior version. But their Commander Cody, in my opinion, is not. Because you get a Phase 1 helmet with Cody. And those were actually 2 figures I wanted to talk about, Phase 1 and 2, Cody and Rex. I don't see Hot Toys making a Phase 1 of either. I mean, I guess it's possible since they're already making the armor. Why wouldn't they? But I don't know. I just feel like if you have Cody, just hold on to him, because so far that's the only way to get a Phase 1. You know what I mean? And same thing for Rex. I don't know. I prefer Phase 1 Rex over Phase 2. I just think he's cooler looking.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the helmet of Phase 2. I mean, I'm still going to get the figure because he kicks so much ass in Clone Wars. But I didn't like him enough to spend $1,000 on him. Would I spend $300 or $400? No, but I'll spend the $250 when he comes out. And then, but yeah, and so I was also thinking like, oh well, Cody and he's coming out. Maybe I'll just sell my sideshow one real cheap. And then I was like, wait a minute, why would I do that? I could have Phase 1 Rex and Cody and Phase 2 Rex and Cody. So it's like a no-brainer to keep it. So yeah.
What other figures do you think are going to be moving?
Well, this one I don't know, which is why I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is supposed to be coming back in Mandalorian Season 2, which I totally called.
I don't think that this figure's value is going to change that much if his costume is different. If it's like a modified,
that's what I was thinking.
Like either like a Mythos style, the Mythos is going to go up. I think it would be so cheeky if he came back wearing the first appearance Boba Fett outfit, like the blue and yellow armor, because his armor's probably fucked. Because Scarlac, the acid, he probably, you know, detonated a bomb, you know, to get out of there. In all the old books, he was like his armor was just ravaged. And even
he also get robot legs too.
I don't know. Everyone fucking gets robot legs, but
yeah.
In the
I think I heard that.
I think, God, there was a story in the new canon about, I'm trying to remember what story it was, but you might want to look it up. But there's a story where these Jawas recovered like this heavily damaged set of armor, and it was like I think it was like either in their shop or like it was just like a trinket they had, and it was
Yeah.
heavily implied that it was Boba Fett's armor.
Yes, I know
So I
exactly
think
what
it
you're
would
talking
be
about.
so cheeky if he came back in the blue and yellow outfit. I think that'd be a great, like an absolutely amazing way to make that armor canon. Or if he has the
Right.
mythos look. So I personally wouldn't invest that much in Boba Fett right now, especially, you know, just because like we just don't know. Like I think for sure that was him
Right.
on Tatooine. I think it was like episode 3 or 4 at the end. I think we all kind of knew that. I don't think that one's going to move or shake too much, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, the blue and yellow is already ridiculously high.
that was kind of my thought process too. Also, there's so many versions of Boba Fett you could get.
Yeah, because you have the sideshow. They made 2 or 3 versions. Then the Mythos. Then the Hot Toys version 1, version 2. I mean, if anything, the Return of the Jedi would probably be the one that if he did come back rocking that armor, it would be that set. That figure doesn't tend to sell for that much, from what I recall. So I mean, it's just really a matter of what he wears when he comes back.
Yeah. So don't. Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't rush out and fucking freak out like, oh my god, Boba Fett, and buy something, because again, we don't know what he's gonna look like. There's so many versions of him. I think it'd be fucking cool if he came back all white, like he's working for the Empire. But
there's no Empire.
I mean,
Remnant.
Yes and no.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think he'd be rocking some white digs when everyone else is all beat to hell with their armor.
Only the Remnant troopers are beat to hell. Everybody else is brand new armor.
No, the scout troopers, the incinerator trooper. The only person that had pristine armor was
when Moff Gideon shows up. All those troopers are in crystal like pristine armor.
I'll have to double check.
Only the troopers that were stationed there are dirty.
Oh, okay. I have to go back and check.
All his troopers are fucking clean as shit.
My man's rocking with that dark saber. Of course, his boy's got to be fresh AF.
Yeah. Yeah, just stuff. I just like keep your ear to the ground. Just trying to stay ahead of the curve. If you're one of those people that like has to have like the coolest, newest, most accurate version of something. I'm not one to sell my figures, so I have Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm set. Like, I don't think. I mean, his TV show would have to be fucking crazy cool for me to pick another version of Obi-Wan over Episode 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Anakin, Boba Fett, and Rex and Cody are the ones that just keep your ear to the ground.
Yeah. Dean, there was a situation that happened on the groups this week. This guy sold so many different figures to multiple people, claimed his kid had coronavirus, and that's why he did that.
Dude,
apparently.
What a shit show.
Just a fucking piece of shit.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, everyone could read what you're saying. And there's screenshots
to everyone,
everywhere.
Because he took multiple payments for the same item. His reasoning was like, oh, just file a claim and you'll get your money back. And it's like, no, you could actually just refund them instead of being a piece of shit and making them go through the process. So let's talk about the process. What do you do if you get scammed?
That's true, because I have no idea how to. I've had nothing but decent luck, so I've never had to file a claim. I have no idea how to do this.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's give a situation if you're going through a group. First off, do not ever pay friends and family. Now, there's some rumors that I've heard on the groups that if you call your credit card company, they can reverse a friends and family payment. I think that's probably accurate, but PayPal obviously has certain terms and agreements to use their service, which state like if you're using goods and services only, or rather friends and family only do that for someone you absolutely trust, because there's no buyer protection listed on their site. Now, if you get scammed, the first thing you want to do is obviously go to paypal.com, file a claim. I don't think you can do it from the app, and it's my understanding that the site has a lot more options to do. And once you file a claim, essentially it's a matter of PayPal investigating both parties, because there's any number of reasons you could file a claim. You could file a claim because your item arrived damaged. You can file a claim because you never received your item. You can file a claim because your item, was a different item than what you had purchased. And all of those are important. When I'm buying something from someone that I don't know, I usually record an unboxing. I show the full sealed box, open it up. If the figure's fine, I delete the video. But it's always good to have that as a backup if you need to prove, hey, I opened this box and it was empty. You want to have some proof. It is also important that shipping weight is a thing. A lot of times you can get shipping weight from different carriers like UPS. If they're shipping you a die-cast figure and it shows up and it's empty, you can refer to the shipping weight and show PayPal, hey, this guy shipped this figure, supposed to be a 7-pound box. It was only a 1-pound box. That's also something that can be very good for you when you're filing a claim. PayPal is very good about getting your money back, but it does take some time if the seller does not respond. So even if the seller doesn't respond right away, PayPal is not just going to yank that money from their account. They do have to get both sides of the story, though there is a point that PayPal will step in and do that. And I think for Eric's case, it was something like 2 to 3 weeks he had to wait before they would do that. Fortunately, the seller did agree that he was at fault and the money was returned. So PayPal is very good. You can call them to file claims, but I think a lot of times if you're doing like screenshots of stuff, you want to do it online because you can batch upload pictures. And essentially you usually get your money back. It's my understanding that you usually do get a full refund. It's not like you lose fees or anything like that. And that's part of why there are fees involved. It's so that PayPal can cover you if things like this happen and they can't get a hold of the scammer.
Yeah.
But it is a big deal. Now, in addition to PayPal, I've seen a lot of people get scammed during trades. Maybe someone sends an empty box, maybe they send the wrong figure, maybe they don't send a figure at all. And it's important to know that you do have some options there. So the United States Postal Service has an entity called the Inspection Service. And this is their contact here. So it's 1-877-876-2455, or you can go to uspis.gov. And all they deal with is mail fraud. So fraudulent activity that happens through the United States Postal Service. You obviously wouldn't use this contact information for UPS or FedEx. But it is a very, very, UPS, like ripping off UPS is a big deal. But ripping off through the United States Postal Service, that's a federal crime. And they take that very seriously. You can make queries, you can call their local offices, and these people have a lot of tools at their disposal to get your packages back or to get your items back. One thing you can also do if you ship something and the seller is being sketchy and not shipping the item, if you're doing a trade, you can actually also go to USPS.com, and for a fee, you can recall your packaging. You can actually have USPS intercept it in the middle of the transaction. They can just send it right back. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
$10. Yeah. Caesar says, I have used a credit card to get my money back paying through PayPal, friends and family. Yeah, Caesar, I'm sure people have done it, but I certainly don't think that's something you want to rely on, because it's just way better to have that extra peace of mind and say like, hey, I know that I can get this money back. Because if PayPal, your bank might be giving you your money back, but PayPal may put some sort of hold on your account if, because they are out of money at this time because you chose to pay friends and family. I definitely wouldn't do that. I would definitely just pay the few bucks and go with goods and services.
Yeah, when
Um,
I bought this Thanos, it was such a good deal. I was really kind of skeptical, like maybe maybe he's not gonna send me the figure. You know what I mean? Um, so I was like, I'm just gonna do goods and services, and I'll give you an extra $3 for the fees. Like, it's not that big a deal. And if fees is gonna make or break the deal, I'm just gonna pay the goddamn fees because it's my ass and my money on the line if
yeah.
this guy decides to try and rip me off. So just pay the goddamn fees. Never friends and family if you're not actually friends or family. And even then, family fucks the over all the time. So I mean, really think about it.
Yeah, and one thing also is, definitely get feedback on these Facebook groups. Like if you're doing a deal with someone on a group, you definitely want to get feedback, because you could definitely find out if someone's sketchy or not. Usually people will chime in.
Yeah.
One also thing that I want to recommend is if you're going through eBay, PayPal actually asks that you file the claim through eBay first before filing a claim on PayPal. You
Ah,
actually
okay.
cannot do it the other way around, at least as of like 3-4 months ago when I had that Starscream that came in. PayPal would not step in until I finished my eBay ordeal.
Okay.
But eBay does have very powerful tools at their disposal as well. So, but definitely don't be an asshole. Like, don't, like at any point in a deal, if you feel uncomfortable, I would say go with your gut. Like, I had deals recently where people just weren't responding, and I ended up just deciding not to do it because, the people that don't respond or that do sketchy shit in the beginning are certainly not going to just be on the up and up, once your item is in transit. I just definitely think, you guys all work hard for your money. These are hard times. You definitely don't want to be giving it to someone and not getting anything in return. So, U.S. Postal Inspection Service, PayPal, eBay, and your credit card, those are all good ways to get your money back depending on how you paid. So, definitely, if you have been wrong, look into those and don't be afraid to blast someone. If they scam you, blast them on Facebook. If it's a Facebook deal, let people know. And a lot of times the peer pressure will get them to refund your money. I've seen more than a handful of times where that has happened. And, it's a shame, but that's
And it
what
also
it
stops
takes.
that person from doing it to someone else. Because we've had, when we were doing the 1/6 San Antonio, there was a few
Yeah.
times where a deal went south and it's like, all right, we'll just remove that person from our group. And they haven't even done a deal in our group. It was from another page. And I was like, yeah, but they're in our group. Let's just get them the fuck out of here
Yep.
faster than later.
Yeah, and a lot of groups will do that. If someone blasts someone with good reason, if there's proof, a lot of the other admins and other groups will remove them, and we've certainly done that a few times on Ox. Dean, give us our mid-show break.
Mid-show break brought to you by Wato Scrapyard. I feel like I just did this.
Yeah, normally the pre-roll is like a 10-second thing, like 5 seconds, and then the mid-roll is like 30 to 45. So you did like a mid-roll at the beginning for the
Oh,
pre-roll.
you should have told me that.
I
Well,
thought you were
anyway,
professional. What happened to Mr. I
I
never have
believe in this product with my whole heart, so I don't mind talking about it at length. Water Scrapyard. I bought, or yeah, the landing gear set for my Legacy Millennium Falcon, and it was like a fraction of the price as a real one. So if you need parts for your Hasbro, Kenner, Star Wars vehicles, Watto's your guy. You go to his eBay page or just message him directly and be like, yo, I need this part. And if he doesn't make it, you bet your ass he'll get it done. He's also making head sculpts for 3 3/4 inch, 6 inch, and 1/6 scale figures.
What a guy. Sweet,
Hell
sweet
yeah.
angel.
Sean's the man.
Dean, our movie of the week was Terminator Salvation.
Ugh.
This is a post-apocalyptic film set in the year 2018. Focuses on the war between Skynet's machine network and humanity as the remnants of the world's military have united to form the resistance to fight against Skynet's killing machines. Christian Bale portrays John Connor, a resistance fighter and central character, while Sam Worthington portrays the cyborg Marcus Wright. There's also Kyle Reese, which is a character from obviously T1.
Hell
And this
yeah.
film also depicts the origins of the T800, which was teased in T1.
Right.
This film was kind of had some controversy during the filming. There was some set footage that leaked when Christian Bale absolutely destroyed the director of photography, Shane Herbert, for
We're
walking
fucking
onto
done
set during a scene.
professionally.
He swore and screamed at the guy, threatening to leave the film. Audio of Bale's tirade leaked to the public and went viral. Bale apologized publicly and said he resolved his differences with the director of photography, stating that sometimes he has a problem with someone walking on set, and that when the incident took place, they continued to work together for a number of hours that day. So,
yeah, Christian Bale's just a really intense actor, but I mean, I also don't like that's his fucking job, man. Like everyone's on a time frame. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about the movie, but I'm just gonna talk about Christian Bale for a second.
yeah,
Because there's also video of Joaquin Phoenix when he's doing
the Joker.
and it's like these guys take it very seriously.
Yeah, Dean, if we
And
started fucking around during the podcast one day, I would bitch you out just like Christian Bale because I take
yeah,
it seriously.
like I
get it. Like this dude's a fucking like this is his job. This is his way he pays his bills. I mean, this is his his livelihood. Like
Yeah, it's like
if he fucks up a take or whatever, everyone has to be there to redo the take. Like some dude walking on the set is. I mean, it was kind of an ugly tirade, but when you're dealing with production that costs thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a minute to film,
yeah,
it's just like you don't want to fuck
the
it up.
stakes could literally not get any higher.
Yeah,
So I
especially when you're
get it.
dealing with like, pyrotechnics and whatnot.
Dude, and you know what's fucking crazy? It's insane. This is how meticulous Christian Bale is. That motherfucker is British. Okay? He's a British dude. Or what is he? He's not British. Is he Scottish?
I have no fucking idea.
He's got a thick ass accent when he talks.
Uh-huh.
If you watch him in interviews during the Batman or listen to the tirade, which is during this movie, where he's playing a character with no accent, he's in fucking character. It's like, dude, you're just doing a post interview for the goddamn DVD commentary. Like, why are you still in character? It's like, that's how fucking serious that dude takes it. It's like he's not screaming in a fucking British accent. He's screaming like fucking John Connor. You know what I mean? It's wild. Go back and check it out because it's like, wait a minute, yeah.
Dean, give your thoughts about the movie. I'm gonna listen to this and I'm gonna mute myself because I gotta hear this accent.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know he had an accent. He's a thick ass accent. I mean, honestly, this movie's kind of garbo. It's really not that great. The Marcus Wright guy, why? Why the fuck do I care about him? If the movie had just been about John Connor and getting Kyle Reese to get back in time, that would have been fucking cool. They also set this movie up to be like a first part to a sequel of movies, which is just a bad idea. Because it's exactly what happened. It failed and it didn't get any sequels. So when you watch it, you're like, why did I watch any of this? Like, it just like doesn't make any sense. I think it's really cool that you get to see Kyle Reese as a kid talking about, because in the first Terminator, he's describing hunter killers and like he's describing like hiding from them and running from them. And then this movie, you actually get to see it, and it's just like really cool because he's a teenager at the time, and then by the time he goes back in time, he's a full grown adult. But there's just like not enough good things about this movie to justify, I don't know, ever watching it again. Hey,
Yeah, that I honestly didn't hear anything you said. I was just kind of mind blown by his accent.
It's wild, right?
Let me
The motherfucker stays in character.
Let me play this clip of this this just a part of it. So let's see if I can.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for one fucking second. The fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not? Yes, I am. Do I fucking walk around and rip that? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No! Don't shut me up. Am I gonna walk around and rip your fucking lights down in the middle of a scene? Then why the fuck are you walking right through? Da-da-da-da like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you?
That's 100% how Collecting Weekly goes when we get off air. If someone breathed wrong during the recording. What a guy. In character. So
it's wild, right? Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, he takes it so seriously. Like, I can't fucking fault the guy. Like, holy shit, he's actually angry, actually tirading in character. Like, that's mental.
The film scored a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, based on 278 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, with storytelling as robotic as the film's iconic villains, Terminator Salvation offers plenty of great effects, but lacks the heart of the original films. I actually like this movie. I like Sam Worthington. I like Christian Bale. I like robots. I like Terminator. It was nice to see the idea of a movie truly set in the future where Skynet has taken over, rather than small parts of this future being sprinkled in throughout the movie.
That's fair.
I honestly really like this movie. I mean, Christian Bale did great. I think it's nice to see this person who had been prophesized from his conception that he would be this great leader, basically being shit on by his superiors as being like the prophesized savior. I liked it. I did like it. The one thing that really bothers me though is that we've had like 5 different John Connors in like 5 different movies, and they're all just none of them look like any. It's nice to see him knowing of Kyle Reese as his father when the general tells him that, hey, this random nobody, Kyle Reese, is #1 on Skynet's hit list. I like to see the T6, T7, and T800s as they evolve. I mean, CGI Arnie is kind of like a cornerstone of the franchise at this point, being that he's so old. All the movies seem to have some different variation of it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I like this movie.
It's entertaining. My problem with this movie goes all the way back to Terminator 2.
Okay.
The whole fucking point of Terminator 2
Yeah.
was you have no fate but what you make, meaning the future is not set in stone and we can fight and change the future. Yet it's going to happen anyway. By the third movie, it's like, oh, yeah, you just postponed the apocalypse. It's going to happen anyway. It's like, all right, well, then why did you shove that message down our throat? I mean, obviously, the answer is money. They want to make money selling movies. So it's like by the time this movie rolled around, it was like, I guess, like, here we go.
I can see that point, but I think, there's a lot of Reddit posts about time travel in movies and creating alternate futures and stuff. And
Right.
I think some of the other films actually even touch on it, where it's like no longer Skynet, it's like different programs that end up taking over. I can headcanon this. I can headcanon this as like, what if this was the original timeline? Because it has to have happened. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, no matter what, John Connor has to send Kyle Reese back to exist.
Right.
If he doesn't, he can never exist, and the war can never happen. So no matter what, I mean, it's always a cycle that it has to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously, like in the Terminator 2, I think it was either the director's cut or the extended cut, but maybe it was a deleted scene. But Sarah Connor says that, like, oh, John became a senator and like the world was great, and like,
Yeah, I just watched a really, really cool movie that had to do with time travel on Netflix. It's called In the Shadow of the Moon. I suggest watching it because it was fucking awesome. But every time travel movie has a paradox. It's just gonna happen. In this movie, there was a girl traveling back in time to stop some people from doing a bad thing, and you're watching it from the point of view of the main character who's chasing her through time. And then when you get to the end of the movie, she has now achieved her goals, but she couldn't have achieved her goals because he just witnessed her do it all. If that makes sense. So if she achieved her goals, that never would have happened. And then now his future, I guess it's I guess it's the way the Avengers described it. It was like your past is, or your future is now the past, and your, how do they word it? It's so fucking mind bending. It's like,
well, every movie has a different like
take
idea of time travel, of the physics of time travel. And
yeah,
I've always felt like Terminator's thing was like, Skynet isn't trying to kill John Connor in their time. They're trying to kill John Connor and prevent a different time from happening. Because
in general,
in one timeline, I mean, like I said, there's hour-long videos talking about the differences of like what it does, and obviously it does, I guess, in some movies does affect the past, because in the one with Emilia Clarke, Sarah Connor had been influenced by Pops. So I don't know.
I guess you're right. I don't know. This movie,
just time travel is just confusing.
Honestly, and I'm including Genesis in this. I think this is one of the weaker movies.
Yeah, and the point of this segment isn't just to review bangers. This is just to review interesting movies. So if we don't like it, and Ox in general just did not like this movie,
dude.
This was just a movie that is interesting because there are so many hot toys from it. So we have the T600, the T700.
I hated the skeletons from this movie.
The T600, the one that has the fake flesh.
Yeah, they're just so goofy looking. It's like clearly
they're
just
supposed
a
to
dude
be
in a suit.
Well, they're supposed to be,
it
because Kyle Reese says in T1, like the T6 and T7, like they were very clearly like easy to spot, and it wasn't
that's what
T.
I was saying when you had it on mute, seeing Kyle Reese grow up and live out the things he described in the first movie is so cool. Like the
Yeah.
hunter killers hunting for them in the buildings and shit.
Mhm.
And the T-600s, like it's so cool getting to see that. That's the highlight of the movie for me, though, is
Yeah.
getting to see Kyle Reese as a younger guy. I
Yeah.
don't know why we had to follow Marcus, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, not a big fan of the
Um,
Marcus plot point. And
Yeah,
I
it's
will
like why? Also, they set this up to be the first part of like a trilogy, maybe,
yeah.
which was their biggest mistake because you get to the end of the movie, like, why did I watch this? Like, it has
Yeah.
no impact. They don't accomplish anything. Literally, the whole movie, they don't do anything. Because it sets it up for like it's a longer battle. Like we have to do this and that to achieve our goals, but it's like they never get there. So when it came out, super cool. Now it's pointless. I guess that's what I'll say.
Yeah. So we have here the John Connor, the final battle version by Hot Toys.
I don't remember that snaky thing.
Yeah, that was in the water. It was, and then that was also I
Oh,
think they
you're right,
tested the signal on it or something.
dude. Low key, that's
Uh,
such a cool fucking figure.
Which one? The final battle, John Connor?
That John Connor right there on the left.
Dude, I want this one so fucking bad.
It's such a cool
Fucking
figure.
dope.
I've seen it. I want to say they had it at Heroes for like ever. They might still have it.
Was it hella expensive?
Probably as a Heroes.
Danny Lee asks, "Did you guys ever watch the Terminator TV show?" I have not.
Yes,
says
dude.
he liked it.
The Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Were they pretty good?
Dude, so good. And then they ended up like canceling the show.
Mhm.
And then it got kind of weak near the end, which is I guess why they canceled it.
Uh-huh.
That's the cool show. I want to say have it on DVD.
Ooh,
Or my
hook your
dad.
boy
I'd have to
up.
go look for it.
Dude, that sounds dope. Here we also have
It's,
the Marcus
Lena-
Wright figure.
Lena Headley.
Really?
Yeah, she's Sarah Connor.
Wait, hold up. That's the lady that plays
Cersei Lannister.
Cersei, right? Wow, hang on. I gotta look this up real quick. Wow. I'm sorry. This is just blown my mind. That is
Yeah, me and my dad and my
wow.
sister.
So two different Sarah Connors were in Game of Thrones. Wow, I did not know that.
Oh shit! I guess you're right. Yeah,
Wow,
that's so funny.
it's incredible.
I didn't hate Genesis.
So this was also really good news in television. It is heavily rumored that Tamora Morrison will play Boba Fett in The Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
That sounds spectacular. Tamora Morrison's still looking good. I mean, episode 2 was a while ago, but he was most recently in Moana and the Dora the Explorer movie as a mercenary.
And also in Aquaman.
Yeah, and Aquaman as well. So it's good to see him getting some love. I would love for Hot Toys to make I mean, I guess they have the head sculpt. I mean, they could make a Boba unmasked.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be fucking sick.
Which
do you think that would ruin the appeal of Boba Fett? I mean, because here's my thought process. So they're casting. I mean, they could cast anyone for dirt cheap, but they're going with the actor, which leads me to believe they're gonna unmask him at some point.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that would ruin Boba Fett? Like some
that
aspects
would make it come full circle, dude. That'd be fucking sweet.
What do you mean full circle?
From the Clone Wars. Like he's an unaltered clone of Jango Fett. So he's the last of the not the last of the clones because they're still, but they're old. They age very rapidly.
Like the true age. He'd probably be a little bit older than Jango.
Yeah, he'd be about the age of Han Solo. So he's probably too old.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, because he would probably. What would he be, like 50 years old? So
yeah, he's probably a little older than Han Solo.
So let's do the math. So from episode 2 to episode 4, was it like 22 years, right?
Ish, yeah.
And then from episode 1 to episode 6, I think it's like there's kind of like an undetermined time gap between Empire, Return of the Jedi, but I think a lot of people are also rather in Empire how long Luke is training.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could be, anywhere from like 30 to like 40 plus.
Yeah.
In this movie. I could be talking out of my ass, but
And this is
Mario says Daniel Logan should come back as Boba. That would be fucking cool to have a Boba flashback as Daniel Logan, dude. That would bring it full circle. My God, dude, that would be amazing.
But he's an actual clone. Daniel Logan doesn't look like him. You know what I mean?
Dude, they can make him look like him. You kidding me? They made Robert
But
Downey
at
Jr.
that
black.
point, just hire the goddamn guy.
No, I'm saying they should hire both. But this is I just think it's a really cool little bit of news. I mean, it's unconfirmed, but it's heavily implied by a lot of different people that this is happening. So it'd be pretty cool. I could definitely see the Django figure going up as far as movers and shakers going.
Yes, Fernando, there are still clones alive during the original trilogy. That's how, if you watch
Captain Rex.
yeah,
Yeah, if you watch Rebels.
Captain Rex is at the Battle of Endor, and that is now canon.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that's awful.
It was a fan theory that they were like, yeah.
Mario Cortez says maybe this is Rex instead of Boba. I would if we see Rex, it means we're going to see Ahsoka and the Mandalorian, which I guess we already are actually.
We're going to,
but no, because Ahsoka and Rex's first meeting was in Rebels, so
yeah, no.
I guess they wouldn't have any screen time together.
Old man now,
because Rex had the
5 years before Mando. So he'd be an old man, if not dead already.
Sean Fierce says, why hasn't the Sideshow figure gone up? I think a few years ago, Hot Toys teased a Django. So, I mean, I think that's kind of holding it at bay. Let's get into the joy of hobbying. So this week, my wife helped me a little bit on Danny Lee's head sculpts here. We have the Wolverine and the Batman. I got to just matte coat the flesh. What's that?
It looks like the same head sculpt with more ear.
Dude, I actually can't unsee that. Wow. I will say very frustrating how small these Batman eyes were. My God, they're tiny little things. I mean, I'm sure that's accurate from a comic book, but they're pretty small. So we got to do a little bit of matte coating here. But Daniel, I hope you like them. I hope you like them. I hope they're able to work for your.
You nailed the stubble on the Wolverine. That's hard.
Yeah, so what I did was I painted everything with like a grayish flesh tone, and then we blended in a lighter flesh tone at the corners of the mouth to give it like that look, and I think it looks really good.
It does.
We saw this post on Tashi and from Auxiliary Eric Ruiz discovered, Dean, the magic of Amazing Mold Buddy.
This, and you know the way I am with my figures.
Yes, you're very hard on your figures.
This will take a shit figure and immediately turn it into gold.
Yes.
I can't imagine being in this hobby and not having this.
Now, this is traditionally for making resin casted molds of things, but what you can also do for it is make figure joints. So in Eric's case, he was combining this body with this pair of boots. None of the ankle pegs would fit that he had. And rather than just fucking epoxying the shit out of it and having no articulation, he picked up the Amazing Mold Buddy from Hobby Lobby, part A, part B, mix it for a few minutes, put it in the joint, pop the joint in. And he said it held, it's perfect, it's durable. You can take the foot out, the joint stays nice and able to, be put back. Yeah. This stuff is amazing. We have a video on our YouTube channel. It's called The Joy of Hobbying Mold Putty. Check it out. I honestly, like, if you do customs, any amount of custom work, even just occasionally, this is an amazing product to have on hand.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, it won't stick to anything
with the exception of silicone.
Right. So if you put it in like a head sculpt and you decide later, or you want to sell the figure and someone's like, oh, I don't really want that stuff in there,
you just pull it out.
You just pull it out. There's like no residue.
There's no oil. There's no anything. It doesn't dry. Someone said, oh, this will dry. And I'm like, dude, I've had molds for 4 or 5 years that are still in still usable. I'm sure eventually they will dry out, but I would think you'd sooner have the figure deteriorate on you before that joint gives out. And if you do, you're using a nickel size amount. I mean, you could make 50 joints with this compound. This is a 1-to-1 compound. You mix the yellow with the purple.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sending a scoop of each with Danny Lee's head sculpt so that he can apply them to his figures. and Danielle will walk you through if you need assistance to get that stuff going. So,
And speaking of this stuff, this will lead perfectly into our giveaway.
oh, dude, I keep forgetting about that. I thought we were going to tease at the beginning of the show. So, what is the giveaway? I'm glad you reminded me because I actually forgot.
Okay, we're gonna do a giveaway, and the first person to DM me the answer wins.
No, just post it in the comments.
What?
Whoever posts in the comments the answer.
I mean, I guess. Or DM me. It's my giveaway, but whatever.
Yeah, but I could feature the comment on the stream in real time.
Okay, fine. Do that, I guess. What is the figure Zach and I are working on in the very first episode that I am featured in? And if you get the answer right, you get the figure.
What a giveaway. Collecting Weekly history
Yeah, that's
in your house.
the first thing that you and I worked on the show together. Literally while we were recording. It's not Vader or Kylo.
Manny says easy.
This product on that figure.
Yeah, we did. Manny says easy.
Well, say it, Manny.
Going back, no correct answers yet. We have like 3 or 4 guesses in the comments. While we're waiting for some answers here, Mario Cortez said mold putty might be a good idea for the Jordan ones on the Hot Toys Miles Spidey. 2 or 3 more answers. No one has got it right yet. Manny says Ron Swanson. Sean Fierce says a red clone. Fernando says that mouse figure. Motherfucker, what?
Mouse figure.
I think it's talking about Dead Mouse.
That was like 8 episodes ago. First episode I was on.
Fernando, Sean says, is it a trooper figure?
No.
You gotta guess it. If no one gets it, I'll just keep it for myself, put it in the museum. Let's go forward. Well, I can see the comments in the order that they are, so we'll skip forward. So, Dean, we have our Patreon, and there's a scene in Batman Begins where Batman is talking to I guess Lieutenant Gordon at the time, and he's like, Gordon says you're only one man, and then Batman says now we're 2. We're at 8 patrons now, Dean. We have 8 patrons. We started with Mario was our first, and we've moved up. So we have 3 tiers: Slam Dunk, Sweet Angel, and Crispy. Slam Dunk is access to our Ox After Dark feed, which is uploaded to Patreon. Sweet Angel is the new this week Hollow sticker, and obviously access to the Ox After Dark feed. Crispy is an on-air shout-out on our first episode of each month from Dean the Dream. You get an official certified Crispy pledge certificate for the first time you pledge, and all the benefits of the previous tier. Now, you do also have the benefit of 1 free head sculpt a year painted by Ian from Darkside Customs. That's 1 per year. And you also have the benefit, Dean, if something on your figure breaks, okay, and it's not something like crazy, or like if you need something very minor done, like, oh, this hair, I messed up the paint, hit me up if you're in the Crispy tier, $15, and I'll fix it for you for free, but you have to pay shipping both ways. Or if you need us, here we go.
Yeah.
Look at this. Fern says Thanos.
Narrow that down a little bit. I mean,
yeah, narrow it down a little bit, because I feel like y'all are just guessing now. Because there's like 45 comments of just people guessing figures.
Manny didn't even know he was guessing.
Yeah, so the question was, again, in the first episode that Dean was on the show, we put up a Collecting Weekly important episodes. Dean and I worked on 1 figure. Should we tell him the episode, Dean?
Yeah.
Episode 4, off topic. Dean and I were working on a figure. Let us know what that figure was. We talked about it right at the beginning of the show.
I mean, Fern already won, but you got to be.
I need to see. He said in the comments, "I'm just guessing." We need to know that he listened. We need to play. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Manny did good.
Manny, congratulations. I don't know. Dean, you give it to whoever you want, Manny or Fern. I don't care.
I mean, I'll have to mail it to me.
But anyway, so the while Dean decides who wins, so in addition to the $15 tier, we're also adding that I will fix a figure, and here we go.
Yeah, Fern got. Yeah, there you go.
All right, y'all figure it out. Whoever wants to win. Leonardo thinks this is hilarious.
I mean, it's CW history. Manny's a part of CW, so I feel like it should go to a viewer.
Yeah, true. Daniel
You
says
just have to
break it
pay
in half.
shipping. No, I'm just kidding. You imagine?
Right, it's like $12. You could actually just get the KO from China. Anyway, so yeah, if you're in the $15 tier, you have a figure that broke, let me know. Speaking of figures that broke, Dean, Victoria broke my Tyrannosaurus Rex statue today.
Oh my god, dude, my heart fucking
Broke
sank.
it.
And then you were like,
Broke
it's
it.
all good. I was like, oh my god.
But fortunately, I have Tamiya plastic putty, I have super glue, I have paint, and I know how to use it. And one of the teeth cracked off. She hit her hand on the
Absolutely
mouth when she was
wild.
turning the light off. And but I fixed it and it's good.
Don't you just
And
have Alexa to say, hey, turn off?
not the actual room lights. I need to
Oh.
get that. I should get that. Dude, it was crazy. Fortunately, but it was a clean break. It was like it actually doesn't, like, I think it might have been glued in at some point. Like, I don't know. I assume the teeth aren't like glued in, but it was such a clean break that I was like, it's right on the seam. So
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, I did fix it. It is seamless. So if you're in the $15 tier, you have something that breaks, hit me up within reason. Like, obviously don't send me 20 figures a month, but Manny G says give him a silver tooth like the kids on the
The West Side.
Mario says great fix on Gary's Harley Quinn. Zach, what a guy. Yeah, that's how I got the idea for that. So Gary's a good guy.
Wait, I guess I don't know the story.
Oh, so let me go to Facebook real quick. Yeah, so Gary Gare Bear, sweet angel, what a guy. He's a healthcare worker, okay? Doing the world a service, his community. And so he said that he dropped his Harley Quinn and the ponytail like snapped in half, like right at the base. And so he was like really freaking out, and he posted on a few different groups that he needed a new sculpt, and obviously Harley Quinn sculpts are kind of expensive. And I looked at it, I was like, hey, I can fix that. Like, just send it to me. And a lot of people in the comments were like, it's not possible to fix that. I'm like, guys, it's like literally super possible to fix that. Loctite super glue, hold it for 15 seconds, good as new. And I fixed it. So the blue ponytail had snapped like right here, like underneath this black part. It actually just like a clean break. And I glued it back, made sure there was no excess glue, pretty much good as new. In fact, I think if I was to glue this headband, the blue thing, to the actual hair, it would be much stronger. But Gary said not to glue that down. So so something small like that, like if you have a figure that maybe the flesh needs a small touch up, maybe a piece of flesh got scratched off. If you're in our $15 Patreon tier, hit me up, holla at your boy, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
And actually, let me go back to sharing these
Now
slides.
for the $20 tier, you got to pet Kevin if you fly over here.
Yeah, these are the benefits here. I think the goddamn files I've been waiting on, they're going to be on Thursday. So Fern says, how is that dog not falling down? And Danny Lee says, what a hero.
He's on the chair and then my shoulder.
These are our patrons. Big shout out to everyone that is part of Patreon. You guys help support our show. I know this month, pretty much all the money went to producing the extra bonuses to kick off the Patreon, and then to Devin's mic.
Whoa, my sister's a
Patreon. Yeah, she's actually, please shout her out because it's her first month of being a Patreon. She's in the highest tier.
Wow, shout her out. Deanie, way to go. Who else? Are all these in the top tier?
Only on the right.
Oh, okay, so Dan Lee, Sweet Angel, my sister Deanie, who's one above all. Stephen Kratt, what a fucking absolute mad lad. And of course, the OG Jason Nelson, fucking day one homie, Literally, he's been our friend since before the podcast.
He was at our first meeting when we had the idea of the podcast.
Yeah.
Remember we did that presentation at my house? It was kind of
Yep.
cringy. Fernando says, I support you on Spirit. Fuck you, Fernando. Support
Oh,
me in
Griffin's
Spirit.
also a podcast or a Patreon.
Yeah, he's in our $5 tier. What a guy.
Mario, an actual day one Patreon.
He was our first patron. So Mario says, can you recommend a fix for the straps on Captain America's die-cast shield? I've used Loctite and still comes apart. Show me what you're talking about. If you're gluing leather to the die-cast thing, I would recommend epoxy, 2-part epoxy. Super glue can grip in one direction, but it doesn't really it's not designed for like multiple directions. I think if you use epoxy and you clamp it on, I think you'd probably sooner rip the strap than rip the leather off that. So yeah, Fernando, I love you. I was just kidding. Big shout out to Scott Bradley. Now, Manny had been furiously looking for a Hot Toys TLJ Kylo Ren, and Scott messaged me and said, "Hey, my local comic store has one. They're closed for the next few days because of the Rona. As soon as they open up, I'll buy it for Manny and ship it to him for cost, which at the time is like a figure that's used 300 plus, sealed for $500. Definitely a good figure for the movers and shakers segment next time." And he got it from Manny. Manny gave him, a little bit of lunch money or something like that. But yeah, Manny is super impressed with this figure, and we're
It's a
definitely
beautiful
glad.
figure, man.
Yeah, we're definitely glad.
The best Kylo that has been made.
And Manny says here in the chat, y'all, I want to trade my Mark 7 for a DX08. So if anyone wants to holler at Manny, his Instagram is PIX by Manny, Pix by Manny. You can hit him up if you want to trade a Mark 7 for a DX08. Manny, you should hit up Lucky. I know, I think he has a DX08.
No, he has the
mime version.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, big
Also,
shout
I
out
don't
to
think
Scott Bradley.
Lucky likes Iron Man, but
that is actually, I think that is actually true. Dean, we're doing our first ever sponsorship. Okay, check this out, Dean. So Susan and I have been playing Animal Crossing legit all day today. Like, we've been voice chatting and just playing. And as you know from the Rainers Rarities chat, I have a ton of blue roses,
right,
and they're very sought after. So her company has a Discord for their customers, right? So El Hopper Design has a Discord, and they're obviously like a fashion brand. So this is some of their products here, and so I was talking to the owner and to Susan, and I was like, "Hey, you should do," because she was saying like people make their designs in the game, and I was like, you should make have everyone send screenshots of their characters as like a fashion show with your things.
That's
and
awesome.
She's like, that's a great idea, because they're importing her designs into the game, and they can post that on social media, right? And so I was like, what I'll do, I was like, you let us sponsor the show, like the fashion show. I'll give you some of my blue roses for the winner, 3 for the first place, 2 and 1 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And put on social media. So we're gonna sponsor the event. And I made this meme, and I was like, when someone tries to flex on me with their gold roses, and you have like the crispy blue rose crown, which is like so much rarer than those peasant roses, and they thought that was hilarious. So we are officially sponsoring the El Hoffer Design fashion show. So if you're in Animal Crossing, and you want to participate, dude, I wish you could go too. It'd be so dope. We also have geek__girl_art. She is coming on Only Fools and Collecting. I think they're recording Thursday. Just stay. I'll have them post a new cover photo tomorrow, because they had to reschedule. But this is some of Luis's art. It's all really good, and they are doing a giveaway for those listening live. If for some reason they have to cancel, we'll just do the giveaway on Thursday, and we'll have the interview later. I just don't want to postpone that twice. But this is the actual comic book you'll be receiving. It is drawn by Louise herself, and it looks crispy.
Dude, she's an amazing artist. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to her yet, but
yeah, she's really good.
Her the likeness that she could achieve just on paper is insane.
Yeah.
I've been drawing for, I don't know, my entire life. I've never been able to achieve that. I think some people just got it. You know what I mean? like, yeah, practice makes you better, but there are just some things like it doesn't matter how hard you practice, you probably just won't be able to do it.
Mhm.
And that's life. That's, I probably won't ever be able to dunk on, fucking, uh, what's that guy's name?
Yes.
Insert famous basketball player here. I forget his name. The one from Miami, and then the other place.
Yao Ming.
No, doesn't he play for the Lakers now? What the hell's his name?
LeBron?
LeBron.
LeBron James.
Yeah, and I'll never be able to outrun Usain Bolt. Like, they're just like, there's some things you just can't do, you know? Doesn't matter how hard you try or train.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, LeBron, you idiot. Yeah, I don't. That's my bad.
My God.
LeBron James.
Dean, do you have any
LeBron
well, let's give our shout outs. I feel like we missed them last episode. I was just so shocked that Susan came on. But
Yeah,
big shout out to all of our amazing cohorts, Dean. We have such a good group of guys that
just help.
participate with us, and we have small talk. They're on a hiatus. I think, Dean, I think you missed that message because in the chat you're like, "Where the f?" It's small talk, and it was
No, I got it. And then I put, God damn it.
yeah.
Because I got my fat ass on an iPad and joined the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't home, but the show must go on, man, and I'm gonna get on there. So I think Dylan needs to pick up the slack a little bit.
I don't think he has internet. Like, I don't think he physically can host the show.
I can tether from my phone. I know he can too.
Oh my God. But then we're all gonna roast him. So
We
Small Talk
already
Wookiee of the Year, they put up their episode 2 After Dark. We've been killing it on After Dark streams. We've been doing like one a week. Collecting Rarities, I think their first show is supposed to drop Thursday. Only Fools in Collecting. They like I said, they're gonna be recording Thursday, and then Creeps Are Us is Manny's show. He recorded episode 3 last week. Susan and her sister were on, and it got creepy. There's some crazy ass stories we're talking about. So yeah, definitely be sure to check those out. Big shout out to 6 Scale Scavengers, Brian, Chris, TC, great guys, Rogue 16, Matt, Mangum, sweetest angel that I know personally. And again, what were we saying, Dean?
What about me?
Well, I already shout you out all the time, so
Yeah, but you said that's the sweetest angel you know personally. I mean,
but
I
it's
like
Matt.
too, but
It's Matt.
yeah,
Big shout out to Scott Bradley for hooking Manny up,
amazing.
and congratulations to whomever won the giveaway. Manny says Creeps will soon have more episodes in Small Talk. Oof, shots fired.
Oh,
Shots
shout out
fired.
to Lucky, aka Dork Dad, because he got me my baby Yodes.
Oh yes.
Put the Yavin medal on him, but he's just so cute.
Yeah, you didn't even talk about him during New this week. He's very
Oh,
upset
I
at you.
totally didn't talk about him on New this week. He's
Talk
been
about it
on
right now. Talk about it right now.
New this week, baby Yodes. He's so freaking adorable. Honestly, if you could get this one and don't mind that he's like just a little too small, there's really no need to get a Hot Toys R Us size show. Like, it's so freaking cute and like just looks amazing on the shelf. Look at him. Look how freaking cute he is.
He is very cute, Dean. Do you have any other shout outs you want to give before we kick this off?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, guys.
As soon as we end the show, I'll be like, God damn it.
Shout out to Dean's mother, Mother's Day. Shout out to my mother for Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers in the world and my wife for being a great mother, not for breaking the Rex. That was not the greatest way to come home, but we survived. We're all good.
Oh, when are we doing
Live and Let Dice?
Yeah.
I have no idea. We'll have to get with Cody and confirm, but usually it's on Saturdays. So
okay,
if you guys like that show, I think we'll be recording Saturday.
Dude, we had so much fun last week. I fucking wrecked that dude.
Yeah, you're really killing it lately. But yeah, that's wait, what does Fern say? That reminds me, how do you get the wires to stay in the arms? What does that even mean?
On your Boba or your Yoda, you
Oh, I'm just that good. No, I just like I don't know. You just keep wrapping them, and like I took it and I wrapped it from one arm, and then I wrapped it around the body like one big wire, and then the other arm. So it's the tension's to the middle.
I
Like
think
it's
I
not gonna.
have a video.
I'm not taking a video. Just take the wire and just continually wrap it around, then wrap it around the body. Like I did like a X, like a harness, and then wrapped it around again.
But like a lot, just once. What's it look like? Super tight, not tight at all.
You'll just have to imagine it. But yeah, I mean it's fairly tight.
Imagine it. I can't see it standing on its own. So you just help a homie out.
But then I have to take him. I have to undress him. Man, you guys are such babies. Everyone's saying show us in the chat. I freaking hate all of y'all. Okay, I'll go grab the baby Yoda so y'all can see it. Jesus Christ.
It's right there. He's closer than mine is, and I could grab mine. I'm so sorry for him, guys. He's such a pain in the butt. Your audience wants it, says Steven.
All right, do you see that wire in there? Hey, let me see if I can. It really does look janky, though. It does work, but so basically, it's just like that. It's just like wire wrapped around like multiple times. Like you take one wire and you wrap it around, right? And then you have that same wire. Like it comes on a spool of like 36 feet. Like I mean, it's quite a bit of wire.
You have to use all 36 feet?
No, motherfucker. I use like maybe like 4 feet. And then you just wrap it around the body and then on the arms. And so when you articulate it, you just kind of like pinch the wires in the direction that you want it to be. And you just have to kind of like force them to be in that direction.
That looks janky as hell.
You know what? Fuck y'all. I'm leaving the show. Quitting Collecting Weekly.
No, don't. All right, guys, it's my show now. This is the last episode because I am too lazy to continue. I think that's it, actually. That should be on the Joy of Hobbing. It really should have. I don't know why you didn't do that. It makes sense. It's only the hottest item out right now. Baby Yo's. If he comes back, we'll. I think he's the one that has to end the show, so I don't know where he went. It's so cute, guys, and it's only like $20. I mean, really, the Hot Toys one, I can't imagine being $400 better. You know what I mean? He's the best. He's my little co-host. Yeah, if I could play Animal Crossing, I would too, but I don't have a Switch, and they're like impossible to get right now. Pretty bummed.
Fuck you, Manny Man. Says if I had a nickel for every time he left the show.
Yeah, I was like, he has to end the stream, so I don't know where he went.
Fernando, don't repaint it. Trust me, the paint won't stick. It's like a really soft vinyl. You won't be able to paint it.
Honestly, you should have done a episode of Joy of Hobbing. That would have been really cool.
Well, Fernando should have subscribed on Patreon, but he didn't. So I mean, we both made mistakes this week.
Don't.
I'm just kidding. I could be like that one chick that lectured her subscribers and like, guys, it's only $20.
It's like, bitch, if it's only $5, why are you fucking belly aching about it? Shut the fuck up.
All right, guys. Look, if you really want a Joy of Hobbing episode, I will try to do it. I will do my best.
He'll buy another Baby Yoda.
Also, fuck you, Steven. Steven said he's so sleepy from playing Animal Crossing 24/7.
I told him if I could, I would play with you, but I can't because Switches are impossible to get. And also, Damien, what a jerk. I've only said I want to Switch the past, 2 episodes? And he comes in with the, hey, Seth, I heard you want to Switch. It's like, I said that shit way before Seth. And he has one. He just doesn't want to share. Damien's a bad friend. Oh,
y'all are wild.
Shout out Fernando. He got a new guitar.
All right, Dean, you ready to cut this one off?
Let's pinch off this turd.
All right, guys, I'm Zach.
Dean.
Catch you on the next episode.
Bye.